Hello and welcome to the first day of testing in the Realistic Velocity Racing League. We've got 3 races lined up for you for today's testing. Now just remember, these are not for points. These are for the guys to learn the ropes on how the cars work before the days of F1 2021 begin, when the first competitive league season gets underway. There are 14 drivers involved. The first one, there are 3 events. The first one being in Austria. Now how it works is that there'll be an 80-minute quali and a 5-lap event here in Austria. The next one, which I believe will be in Bahrain, will be a reverse grid of the race result here. That'll be 25%. So for Bahrain, that'll be 14 or 15 laps. And the last event of today's testing will be at Interlagos, Brazil. It will be an 80-minute quali and 25% race distance, which will be 18 laps. So all of that should be filled in around about the next an hour and 45 minutes. Start to see some cars going out onto the racetrack, including Hungary 0805 in the McLaren, followed by Kean Green in the Mercedes. Aspects, saying hi. Hello to you. I hope you are involved in the action or enjoying the action already. Don't be afraid to get in touch as well, folks. Can we have any questions with how your weekend's been? How's your day been? I can imagine this wet qualifying session is going to be a huge testing ground for the drivers to learn more about how to compete in wet weather conditions. We often do see drivers struggling in wet weather races or wet qualifying sessions, so this is a good opportunity to practice. Hungary is now over the line to begin his first flying lap. Even though it's a wet session, we should still expect to see a high number of laps being completed by the drivers. And I would imagine that because of the wet weather conditions, there's a less chance of drivers exceeding track limits, as the curbs are where you want to stay away from. Wales also getting in touch saying afternoon, Bod. Hello to you. Hope you're having a good day and a good weekend. Even though it may be testing, it's a good opportunity for maybe to talk about anything other than motor racing. You know, we've got the UEFA European Championships coming up that begin on Friday. Who are you tipping to win the tournament? I mean, if I was to predict who could win it, it could be, I think for me, either France or Belgium, but I'd love to see England go all the way, as I am an Englishman after all. So Hungary over the line, posting a 1 minute 15.7. Schnitzy behind in the Renault on a 1 minute 16.4. And I think we've got a Ferrari who's going to be next over the line. That's Leclerc. And it's going to be a 1 minute 14.8. Puts him fastest of all with only 4 minutes of this session gone. Jamie Owen crossing the line to post a 1 minute 15.3. Looking further behind Thunderbales, who's one of those who's been in touch. As Tenzin Stelling posts a 1 minute 14.7 to go a 10th clear of Leclerc. Well, nearly less than a 10th actually. It's running about half a 10th. Either way, he's fastest of all. J-Tac. It's Thunderbales, who will be the next driver to cross over the line. Leclerc has gone even faster on 1 minute 14.3. What can Thunderbales produce? It's going to be a 1 minute 14.6. That puts him second. Here's Mirko. It's going to be 1 minute 15.3. And behind is the Mercedes of Jamie Owen, who has not set a very fast time on that occasion. Hungary's next up. It's going to be a 1 minute 14.3, and he goes fastest by nearly a 10th of a second over Leclerc in second. Now we've got two cars filtering through. Schnitzy's going into the pits, so we'll go to Cian Green as he's the next driver to cross over the line through turn 10. And this is going to put him around about top 8, I reckon. He goes 8 fastest on a 1 minute 15.4. It's the slowest of all the drivers to post a lap time. That's until Bumper Car Ben posts a 1 minute 15.5. So just the 5 drivers who have yet to post times so far in this session. Thunderbales' lap not as quick as before. Jamie Owen looking to go quicker than he did so before. He posts a 1 minute 15.0. That's 0.3 faster than what he had produced beforehand. That puts him up to 5th place. Car Ben on a better lap than before. It's 1 minute 15.1, nearly 0.4 faster than what he had produced beforehand. All these lap times been invalidated, so we'll come away from him. There's Mercedes and Ferrari going through turns 7 and 8. Mirko's lap has been invalidated. Jamie Owen, I would imagine, he's on a cool-down lap before he goes on another flyer. Here's Benjamin. Looking to post a quicker time. Well, he's yet to post a time so far in this session. I think this is going to be a 1 minute 15 probably. It's a 1 minute 15.8. And he's the slowest of all the 10 drivers who have posted times. From the bales going into the gravel, or touching the gravel. So he goes in too deep into turn 4. So 9 minutes remaining in this qualifying session, as this is one of 3 events as part of today's testing. Here's Chapichio in the Red Bull, looking to post his first time of this session. into the last turn, onto the start finish straight. It's going to be a 1 minute 17.7. Here's Ollie. And the racing point. Quick driver from what I've seen from other leagues. He's probably going to go on to a 1 minute 15 for his first time lap. It's a 1 minute 15.2. So he goes ahead of Mirko Lesko. Here's JTAC, who aims to complete this lap. So Bales coming in saying was 7 tenths up and then spun and lost his wing. Thank you for informing me, Bales. But JTAC posting a 1 minute 15.1. Goes up to 8 with that time. Hubert. I wonder if he got hindered by the McLaren. Oh, he says that time invalidated as well. Spins around as he got on the grass, pointing the wrong way. Probably waiting for the runoff area, to be honest with you. Oh, he's pointing the wrong way. That's not good driving, to be honest with you. And someone had to go through the polystyrene boards in order to block him. Leclerc crossing the line in the Ferrari. And he posts the first time below the 1 minute 14. So it's 1 minute 13.9. Hungary's next up. He's not on a better lap than he had set before. And I don't see an improvement here. He stays second. And Trapiccio, 3 tenths up from his previous best time in sector 1. Aiming for a better lap than he had set at first of the 1 minute 17.0. This is his second set time like. It's half a second down, so he must have made a mistake somewhere on this run. It's Mirko, who aims to go higher than 10th, better than the 1 minute 15.3. As you can see, there's a Mercedes in the gravel just getting out of the way. Got a Red Bull crossing over the line now. Here's Mirko, using all the curb that he can. He's Hungary. I would think he may be going into the pits, but he decides to carry on because he may be on a better lap than what he'd set previously. Over the line now, and it's a 1:14.0. Goes just over a tenth behind Leclerc. At least he keeps hold of second. Here's Chapichio, 8/10 up through sector 2. This is most certainly going to be a better time than what he's set before. Lower 16s probably to 16.4, so he's lost some time in the last sector. Here's Benjamin. With 3 minutes to go. Aims for a higher grid spot than before, but he's overdone it, and that's his lap time invalidated. Ollie next up for Racing Point. 1 with 14.7. Puts him 5th. Here's Mirko going up to, well, he's had a slower time than before, that leaves him 10th. Keane Green crossing over the line. Here's Chapichio in the Red Bull. Half a second up through sector 2. Got over 2 minutes remaining. Leclerc fastest by over a 10th in this qualifying session. Mirko has retired from the session now, so starting to see more and more drivers finish their sessions, retiring to go for a break and look at race setups for the 5-lapper. Here's Hubert. Nearly losing it in the Alfa Romeo. Comes through the last corner now. Car's lagging as he exits turn 10. And his first time is of 16.3. And has he got enough time to get round and do another lap? Keane Green over the line for Mercedes. Goes up to 7th on the 14.9. JTAC next up in the McLaren. 3/10 up from his previous best in sector 2. And goes up to 3rd with that time. It's a good time that from JTAC. That puts 2 McLarens in the top 3. Here's Chapichio. A better lap by sector 2. Where is this going to put him on this run? It's a 1 minute 15.1. Quarter of a second up from before. But stays 11th fastest. Well, at least he goes up to 11th. There's a Ferrari coming through there. Oh, that's Leclerc who... Oh, he had to bow out with that lap because he got... Yeah, he won't be too pleased with that. But the good news for him is that Hungary is not going to be on pole. Thunderbales is going for a last gasp effort. He's just posted a time that was 6/10 faster than what he had set before. That puts him 3rd fastest. And Hubert bows out with that one, so he'll start at the back of the grid. We've got Mercedes who's going to be crossing over the line very shortly. Here's Jamie Owen. Over the line, and it's 7th fastest for him. Thunderbale's right behind Ben. Got held up by the Renault a little bit there. Has he found enough time to take pole position away from Leclerc? And the answer is yes. It's a 13.4. 6/10 faster than Leclerc as well. So clearly, more grip is found. Ollie goes up to 6th with his fastest time of a 1 minute 14.4. Keane Green is not on the fast lap. So after all that, Thunderbales will start the first event of today from pole position for this 5-lapper. Leclerc will be alongside in the Ferrari. Do please get in touch with us. I'd love to hear how you are getting on with today in the world. Obviously, it's been very difficult with the pandemic looming around, or roaming around, as it should say. So yeah, nearly half a second up from Leclerc is Thunderbales, who aims to keep hold of that by the end of this 5-lap event, before we go on to the next one, which will be in Bahrain, I believe. So rundown on that qualifying session. Thunderbales is on pole, ahead of Leclerc, then it's Hungary and JTAC on row 2. Ben and Ollie on row 3, then it's Schnitzy and Jamie Owen on row 4. Tensoon Stelling and Kean Green on row 5. Chabachillo and Mirko Lesko on row 6. Benjamin and Hubert making up the grid. There are no grid penalties that need to be applied, so the grid will be as it's finished in qualifying. We are expecting a dry race, this 5-lapper. I can't imagine we'll be needing to do a formation lap. We'll find out soon enough anyway. Less than 30 seconds away from the start of this one now. And the 5-lap event here in Austria will begin. So the 5 red lights are on, and when they go out, so we're racing here in Austria. It's lights out, and away we go. Thunderbales gets off to a nice start in the AlphaTauri, and then it's the Ferrari of Leclerc, fending off the 2 McLarens behind. Leclerc down the inside, but he gets touched from behind by one of the McLarens. That's Hungary, I think it was. And there's another Ferrari going into the barrier on the outside. That will be Mirko Lesko. So he's already lost a lot of ground to the others, but Thunderbales stay in the lead. Then it's the 2 McLarens of JTAC and Hungary who go side by side. JTAC round the outside into turn 3. He gets that position into second. Then it's Hungary third, Ollie fourth in the Racing Point. Then it's Ben in fifth, and it's Stelling in 6th place. 2-second time penalties have been dished out already to Kean Green and Jamie Owen. Ollie Green trying to fend off the Renault of Ben, who goes round the outside through 4 and 5. Can he get the inside line into 6? He can, and just about gets ahead of the Racing Point. So Ben goes up into 4th position, and then tries to go through on the McLaren of Hungary, but he's made contact with him. He's lost part of his front wing. So JTAC has been given a 2-second time penalty as well, and the McLaren goes into the pits for a new nose cone. So crossing over the line to complete lap 1, Thunderbales leads ahead of JTAC, then Ben fending off the Racing Point of Ollie behind. The 2 of them make contact out of turn 1. That opens the door for Stelling to go past, and I think Stelling is going to get the job done on the Racing Point and can go after Ben for second position. Remember, there's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the race. We've got 4 drivers in the pits already. We've got Hungary, who's in the pits from McLaren, Hubert in the Alfa Romeo, Chabachillo in the Red Bull, and Mirko Lesko in the Ferrari. Just get the time penalties up on screen for you. There we go. And Kilian Lunn is boss in the Haas, who didn't take part in qualifying, but managed to get involved in the race. He's made up good ground from the back of the grid. as Ben and Schnitzy go head to head. But I think Ben is going to be coming into the pits to get that front wing changed, is he? No, he's not. He's staying out. The Thunderbells is setting a new fastest lap at 1 minute 5.0. Can any of the others beat that by the end of this race? 3 laps remaining then. Ollie trying to fend off the Renault of Ben as he goes past him, around the outside. And I think the other Renault of Schnitzy is going to go through. Although Ben is within the slipstream of the racing points, they go through turn 2 and up the hill to the Remus curve, turn 3. Schnitzy goes wide, Ollie goes through. The DRS has been enabled as well, so that will give Ollie, Ben and others the opportunity to use it. Ollie goes through up into 3rd place, with Ben dropping back all the time. Benjamin also getting a 2-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. The Thunderbells pulling away with a 3-second margin on the road and looking almost certain to take this win. There are no points for this race. Remember, it is just testing after all, but this is an opportunity for the drivers to practice before their league season begins around the time when F1 2021 is released. It probably won't be until August when the season actually starts. That will give the drivers an opportunity to acclimatise to the new cars and the game itself. Ollie also picks up a 2-second time penalty for exceeding track limits too many times. Now we can see Quillen going through. Oh, and Ben's lost the left end plate of his front wing, and that's going to allow the Williams of Stelling and the Ferrari of Leclerc to pull alongside here and go through. So Stelling goes to the inside. Oh, they make contact, and Quillen gets bounced out of the way as a result of it through no fault of his own. And Leclerc almost getting touched from behind by Ben, and he's lost ground to Quillen. The Thunderbells is now coming round to start the last lap of this race here in Austria. JTAC 4 seconds behind. Don't know if he's picked up damage through the mayhem. Probably hasn't done. Schnitzy trying to get onto the podium, which he will do as it stuns. Now Ollie's gap to Schnitzy is 1.2 seconds. So Schnitzy still needs to stay with him. Leclerc going past Quillen up into 7th place. Can both of them get round the Renault of Ben? Quillen goes to the inside. The two make contact. Leclerc trying to go to the outside in the Ferrari. And now the Red Bull of Benjamin pulling alongside. Does he get through on the inside? Oh, they crash! The two come together, and Benjamin probably didn't leave enough space on the inside, and he may get punished for that. But here's Thunderbells, who's going to come round the penultimate corner of 9 and the last corner of 10, and he will take victory here in Austria, even with the time penalty. That will make no difference to him. JTAC coming out in second for McLaren, with Ollie, who'll probably lose that podium finish to Schnitzy, who goes to the podium. Stelling will come in 4th. Ollie is 5th. Then it's Quillen in 6th place. I think we could see a change of positions at the line. Ben is 7th, Benjamin 8th, Leclerc 9th, Kieran Green 10th, Jamie Owen 11th. Hungary will come home in 12th, whilst Hubert has gone for a spin on the last lap. Falls behind Chapiccio, who will be 13th. Hubert will be 14th, and Mirko Lesko, the last of the finishers, in 15th place. So Thunderbells will be happy to have taken the victory, although it wasn't that tough of a victory to get, if I'm honest with you. He was able to convert that pole position into the lead out of turn 1, and he was untroubled since then. Patson tuning in saying hi, Tom. Hi there, dude. I saw some of your action last night. There's still more to come from this. There's still 2 more races to come. The next one will be Bahrain, where it'll be a reverse grid of the race result of which you are seeing right now. So Thunderbales was the winner ahead of JTech, then it's Schnitzy in third, Tentoon Stelling was fourth ahead of Ollie, then it's Quillen ahead of Ben, then it's Benjamin in 8th, Leclerc 9th, Kieran Green in 10th, Jamie Owen was 11th ahead of Hungary, Chapichio was 13th, Cuba 14th, and Mirko Lesko in 15th. As I've already mentioned, no points are up for grabs in this. It is just a test day for the drivers, but we are going to be heading into the next session where it'll be a 25% distance race, which I believe is in Bahrain. We'll find out in a moment. If it is Bahrain, then it'll be either a 14 or a 15 lap event for the drivers. No qualifying, just a reverse grid. So it is in Bahrain. Just waiting for the host of the lobby to adjust the settings, sort out the grid, and then we'll get this event underway, hopefully as quickly as possible. So if you have just joined us, we do welcome you. Just waiting for the grid to be put together by the host of this lobby. And then the 25% race distance event in Bahrain will begin. We should take no more than half an hour to do. With there being not so many drivers involved from what I can see, it shouldn't take too long for the grid to be sorted. That way we can start to go racing again. So for Sean saying, can he join? The person you need to get in touch is, let me just find the name for you, or the host of the lobby anyway. That will be Chapichio, who's the host of the lobby. Ollie's asking, am I commentating on Formula Racing League Super Sunday 2? The answer is yes, so I will be available for then. And yeah, I've even forgotten what round what venue circuit it is I'm going to be commentating on. Let's have a look. The next one is it Monaco? Yeah, I think it's Monaco. It's going to be a very challenging one for the drivers. That's from another league, just for your information. That's nothing to do with what's going on in the Realistic Velocity Racing League. can start to see a few drivers now readying up, so we should get this event underway now. So for Bahrain, we should be expecting either a 14 or a 15 lap event. It shouldn't take too long for the drivers to decide on their car setups and race setups. I would expect there to be a pit stop for each driver in this. So Fresh Sean's just saying, can he join or not? The only thing is, the person responsible for the league has already trialled these drivers before testing had started. So if you're wanting to join, I would suggest messaging them. So less than 30 seconds away now, less than 15 seconds before the start of this race here in Bahrain. So it'll be the reverse grid of the race result we've just had in Austria. But the drivers are going on their formation laps, so they still have an opportunity to warm up their tyres. The ones going on the mediums are Tensu Sterling, Schnitzy, Benjamin and Leclerc. All the others are starting on the softs. It'll be a 14-lap event. So not a 15-lap event. It'll be a 14-lap race in Austria. Oh, sorry, not in Austria, in Bahrain. So Thunder Vales. I thought it was going to be a reverse grid, but it seems though that Thunder Vales has decided to be given the seat at the front, whereas Leclerc is starting from the back. A number of drivers who seem to have left the session all of a sudden. We're keen to find out what exactly is going on. So the owner of the league has decided to ask for new invites. I see two drivers going into the barrier there, but I think we are going to be expecting the cars coming onto the grid. we're just waiting for some lights to come on. It's lights out and away we go. Van der Bels gets off the line brilliantly, as does Stellin. And we've got Hungary, whose car is being controlled by the AI at the moment. And Schnitzy going through. But I think we are going to see drivers leaving the session, actually, because there's been a problem with the grid being sorted properly by the owner. Or there's been a glitch of somehow. So we are expecting drivers to leave or retire from the session. I think that's what's going to be happening. So we're just waiting for a new invite from the owner, and then we'll join there as soon as possible, which we do now. So we do apologise for the error there, guys. It's nothing to do with me, that's totally out of my control. All I can do is apologise. So whilst we're waiting, do feel free to get involved in the conversation. So most of the field are back in the lobby now. So we're just waiting for the grid to be sorted by the host. And then this event will begin. It will be 25%, 14 lapper as well. Yeah, Keen Green's asking, am I commentating at 7 PM tonight? Yes, I am. Yeah, I've said that earlier in the stream. That will be commentating, providing this finishes on time, obviously, which I'm confident that it will do. So the grid has finally been sorted. The reverse grid it is. Sorry for the delay. Just so that you know, there's no qualifying session. It'd be a reverse grid of the Austria result, which we just had about 10 to 15 minutes ago. So 10 seconds away from the race start then. I think we're going to be doing a formation lap first, unless I'm mistaken. Bales is saying that he's forgot to do his setup. It's only testing, dude, so don't worry about it if testing's not done. But the 5 red lights are on. Lights out, and away we go here in Austria. And it looks like that Hungary has got to a decent start ahead of Chapiccio. With Jamie Owen in 3rd place, going into turn 1, side by side with the 2 Ferraris there. And they continue going side by side before they get to turn 3. But Hungary stays in the lead. There's Chapiccio in 2nd, that's Jamie Owen, Mirko, Quillen, Ollie, who is under threat from the 2nd Red Bull of Kieran Green, who spins round at turn 4. And he's got crucial ground as he tries to rejoin. Thunderbell's going wide. Coming back into the path there of Schnitzy. No harm done. As we've got a safety car because Kieran Green has lost it on the exit of turn 7. And he's out of the race, and we've got our first safety car of this race. So Hungary getting off the line well. The 4 drivers who have started on the mediums are at the back of the field. But there are only 11 cars running at this moment of time. Now we've got 2 drivers, or just the 1 driver who's ducked into the pits at this stage of the race. And it's going to be the medium tyres for Mirko Lesko. Leclerc also in the Alfa Romeo. Getting rid of the mediums to go onto a set of softs. I wonder how long the safety car will remain out there for. So Hungary leads ahead of Chapiccio in the Ferrari, then it's Jamie Owen in the Red Bull. You may have noticed if you've been watching the stream all the way through that some of the drivers are in different cars to what they were using when we were doing that 5-lapper in Austria. Now, how long will the safety car remain out there for? I hope it's only for 1 lap. But I've got a feeling it may well be the 2. Safety car staying out for another lap as it has gone through the 2nd time beam. And those at the back of the field who have stopped can go to the end. And Benjamin getting a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. He's just coming for a pit stop in the AlphaTauri. He's out on his way, but he will be serving that penalty either at the end of the race or at his next pit stop. So Hungary leads behind the safety car. You may think he's under pressure, but it is testing after all, so there's no points up for grabs in today's races. Surely the safety car must be coming at the end of this lap, which it is. So Hungary has an opportunity to dictate the pace and will pull away once the safety car is docked into the pit lane, and he's got the space for him to launch clear of everyone else. Chavicchio will be watching his every move. He's not really that close to him at the moment, so he can afford to close in a little bit, which he does so now, and the whole field is just scattered behind him, almost engulfed. We've got the Racing Point and the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo dive into the inside, and they've come together almost, and you've got two drivers off the road. Thunderbolt's getting a time penalty for corner cutting. And Ollie is now going side by side with race leader Hungary as they go into turn 4. And that's the lead going to the Racing Point. And there's a Renault with damage to his car. That's Schnitzy riding the curbs. And Thunderbales will be... and we've got a Ferrari going into the barrier. That's Mirko Lesko trying to rejoin. He's falling to the back of the field either way. Now Ollie continuing to lead. And it's Hungary in second place. Jamie Owen ahead of Chavicchio. J-Tac in 5th place ahead of Leclerc. Now, did Chavicchio pick up damage at the first turn? The answer is no. So he's okay for the time being, despite losing 2 positions on the restart. Hungary in second place now behind Ollie at the end of lap 4. We've got a move here between J-Tac and Chavicchio as J-Tac goes through. Thunderbales in the pits for AlphaTauri. Will he be able to use that opportunity to serve 10 seconds? No, he won't. So he'll have to take the 10 seconds at the end of the race. But here's Ollie, looking to pull away from Hungary as Jamie Owen closes in behind the 2. Leclerc in 6th place, looking to get past the Ferrari. There's no DRS for the first 2 laps of the restart, as Hungary looks to try and get the lead back from Ollie as soon as he can. Jamie Ollie right behind in the Red Bull. And side by side into turn 14 goes Chapuccio and Leclerc. I think Leclerc's got the outside line. He's going to go through on the Ferrari. Here's Jamie Owen looking to get past Hungary for 2nd place. And stays behind the McLaren for now. And Mirko coming into the pits to get his front wing changed. Van der Bels is going to go through. So you can see your top 6 in your picture going through turn 8. And won't be long before the leaders start to come in for their pit stops. You can tell that the top 4 have yet to pit, as is Chapuccio and Keelan. Those are the only drivers who have yet to stop in this race. As far as penalties are concerned, the top 6 do not have time penalties at all. Schnitzler is the only one behind those 6 to not have a time penalty. He's a long way down the field and so far behind everyone else who'll have to be hoping for a safety car or something. Hungary going to the inside surely with DRS, which he does so, and that's going to see him go back into the lead of the race. Can Ollie fight back on the exit of turn 3? I don't think he can, because Hungary is still going to have the DRS, as is Jamie Owen behind. Leclerc now ahead of JTAC into 4th position. So coming up into turn 13, down the back straight before the penultimate turn. And so your top 5 in the picture, all within 3 seconds of each other. And 2 of them going into the pits. Ollie thought about going in. Hungary's got a time penalty for speeding, as is Jamie Owen. So some of these need to learn to slow down to the box. Leclerc's now got a fastest up of the race as well. Goes up to 2nd, JTAC 3rd. And Hungary and Jamie Owen will rejoin in 7th and 8th. So Ollie and Leclerc will be thinking about pitting in at the end. I'll say pitting at the end of this lap. Leclerc's the one who has already stopped in this race. I can't imagine he'll want to go to the end on the soft compound tyres, especially when he makes lock-ups like that. He may give it a try though. He was on the mediums to begin with, but decided to switch to the softs. Leclerc following Ollie in, and JTAC likewise, and that will allow Chapichio to go into the lead for Ferrari again. Entering through into second as well. And the top three, the three drivers who came into the pits rejoin in the same order as before, which will allow Hungary to go back ahead of them, and Jamie Owen will go through into second. In fact, Ollie's getting out in front of Jamie Owen, but Owen's tyres will be up to temperature by this point, which we'll see the Red Bull pull alongside into turn 4 on the inside, and he should go through here, and he does so. Now, can Ollie fight back on the switchback? The answer is no, and Jamie Owen gets past and into 5th position. Chapichio is your new race leader for Ferrari. Of course, he's yet to pit in this race. He needs to go on to either the mediums or the hards. I can only imagine he'll go on to the hard compound, the medium compound tyre. And Hungary getting past Keelan, who's yet to stop in this race. And Chapichio coming into the pits now to go on to a set of the mediums. Benjamin goes past into the lead. He'll need to probably pit in before this race is done. Hungary gets through into the lead now. Well, into the lead of so he thought, but he's not going to have DRS on the start-finish straight. Keelan does have DRS, and he's going to be fighting his way back through, but goes in way too deep and has to fall back into the clutches of almost everyone else behind, but he gets out of the way by going onto the grass. And Benjamin continuing to stay on his softs. He must be hitting the cliff at the moment. Leclerc right behind Hungary now. What is effectively the battle for the race lead, although Hungary's time penalty would see him lose that position. Runs wide at turn 11. And Leclerc goes through on the outside to go up into second place. Now, can Jamie Owen follow suit and go through? Now, the trouble for Leclerc is he's not going to have DRS on the start-finish straight, unlike Hungary, Owen and Ollie. I think Hungary's not close enough to have a go on the inside into turn 1. JTAC gets past Ollie into 5th temporarily, but we've got a spinner at the back, and Thunderbales has crashed out on the exit of the last turn. Will that be enough to trigger a safety car? It's a virtual safety car. So, Killen's pit stop is able to lose less time under a virtual safety car. He might just get in front of that Ferrari as well, without speeding. So Thunderbales joins Kieran Green on the sidelines. And the drive-through penalty now for Keelan for speeding onto the virtual safety car as it ended. So he'll have to take that drive-through within the next 3 laps before the end of this race. And Benjamin trying to stay out for as long as he can, really. Whilst Leclerc is catching him. But to be fair, considering we've had the safety cars and a virtual safety car a moment or so ago, he could finish on the podium. JTAC gets through ahead of Ollie. Puts him up to 4th, with Jamie Owen looking to get past as well. Stays in, or gets past him into turn 4, down the inside, and that's him up into 5th. And someone else is in the wall. It's Keelan. And he's spinning around. It's a really poor attempt to spin the car back round. And no. I know it's testing, but that's not allowed, is that? That really is not allowed at all from Keelan. He may just have triggered another safety car or virtual safety car for that. By the way, that's not acceptable, is that? So Benjamin still leads with Leclerc 3.5 seconds behind him now in 2nd place. But Benjamin's time penalty will drop him behind Leclerc and probably behind Hungary and JTAC as well. In fact, JTAC gets in front of his teammate on this occasion. And Jamie Owen getting past Ollie again. Now, how is Benjamin going to take those soft tyres to the end? I mean, he's 2 laps away from the finish, but they're going to be screaming like hell. I don't know how he's going to fend off all those behind. Okay, going to the inside of Benjamin's, they come into turn 14. DRS now open on the Alfa Romeo as they begin the last lap. And Leclerc goes through into the lead with no problem whatsoever. Ollie getting back through on Jamie Owen, although the Red Bull is fighting back and passes him again. Hungary looking to get back through on JTAC as they'll be coming up to the AlphaTauri of Benjamin, who's committed himself to going to the end on those soft tyres. So have done, how many laps have they done? They've done 10 laps. They'll be falling away like hell, those soft tyres right now. He's got another half a lap to do on those as JTAC gets back through on Hungary into 3rd place. As it stands for Benjamin, he would lose 2nd place and 3rd actually, because Ollie is behind him, who is not on a time penalty. They come through turns 12 and 13 now, and Mirko Lesko has binned it on the exit of turn 7, so he's out of the race on the last lap. But here's Leclerc. He's going to be coming through the last 2 turns. Onto the pit straight for the last time. He's going to win here in Bahrain. Spins over the line on his way to achieving it as well. JTAC will finish 2nd, or crossing the line 2nd. It's Ollie who go up to 2nd place with the time penalties applied. JTAC 3rd. Benjamin taking those soft tyres a long way to 4th. Hungary will be 5th, ahead of... Just trying to remember who finished 2nd now, through all of that. Anyway, the podium celebrations are here. With Leclerc, your winner, so your race winner, ahead of Ollie, with JTAC third. So you've race result for Bahrain then. Leclerc is the winner ahead of Ollie, JTAC third, Benjamin fourth, Hungary fifth, Jamie Owen sixth, Chapichio in seventh, Schnitzy, the last of the finishes, in eighth. Mirko Alessio crashed out on the last lap. Keelan, 10th, sorry, in 10th, well I say he's 10th, he actually didn't finish the race. Thunderbales also retired, along with Kean Green, who crashed out on lap 1. There's still one more event to come, folks, which will be an 18-minute quali and a 25% race distance event at Interlagos in Brazil. And there'll be testing done for today. So we're waiting for the settings to be updated. We are expecting an 18-minute quali and then a 25% race distance event here in Brazil. And we should get underway very, very soon. Here we are then for the last event of today's testing. This is the Interlagos circuit in Brazil. We're expecting an 80-minute quali followed by a 25% race distance event. So all of this should be done within the next 45 minutes. So it is an 18-minute qualifying session. So we're expecting some cars to make their way out onto the circuit very, very shortly. Keep the questions coming in, folks. You can see an Alfa Romeo, a Red Bull, and a Racing Point heading out on the circuit now. Leclerc will be one of them. So can Leclerc go for another win to go with the reverse grid race result of Bahrain? We'll find out very, very soon. So Leclerc starting the final a flying lap in the Alfa Romeo. It's a 16.8 in sector 1. And through sector 2 he goes. It's a 51.3. I expect this to be a solid benchmark for all those to beat in this session. Over the line he comes. And it's a 1.7.8 for Leclerc. But Ollie's the next driver to go through, but he's coming back into the pits, as his lap's doing in validated. Schnitzy also crossed the line, it's a 1:08.3. Jamie Owen is next. His lap time's been invalidated, likewise with Kean Green. We've got a McLaren of JTAC crossing over the line. It's going to be a 1:08.2. Next up is the AlphaTauri of Thunder Bales. And it's going to be a 1:08.1. Hungry with that mistake on the exit of what looks like turn 10. It's a non-representative time on that occasion anyway. It's a 1:08.3. It's 7.4, which puts him to the top of the timing pages. Hungary going to third fastest on 1 minute 7.8. Benjamin crossing the line, posting a 1 minute 9.2. We've got Jamie Owen coming through in the Red Bull into sector 2, 51.6. One minute 8.1 puts him fourth on the timing pages for the time being at least. Thunder Bales has posted the fastest time. It's a 1 minute 7.4 so far. We'll go to Mirko, who's gone through sector 2 on a 52.0, which is not very quick. Rear wing open. It's a 1 minute 8.5 that puts him 8th fastest so far. Here's Ollie in the racing point, coming through to complete his qualifying time, and it's going to be a 1 minute 8.2 that leaves him 6th overall. Here's Mirko coming through in the Ferrari. It's a 51.4, half a second up from his previous best, so he could maybe go into a 1 minute 7 if he finds enough time between now and the end of the lap. DRS wide open. It's a 1 minute 8.1 that puts him 4th with over 10 minutes remaining. Benjamin's retired from the session now as well. Schnitzy over 300s up in set 2. It's a 1 minute 8.3, which is not faster than before. Leclerc, who's gone 2/10 up from his previous best in sector 1. Ten foot through sector 2. It's going to be a 1 minute 7.6 that puts him over a 10th behind Thunder Bales with that lap. And 1 minute 7.9 for Schnitzy puts him 4th. Hungary's backed off on this lap actually. Just saving the ERS for when he prepares for his next run. Here's Chapichio, who's the only driver yet to post a time in this session. 52.0 in sector 2. And it's a 1 minute 8.5 as he crosses the line, goes in front of Benjamin, who will not be posting another time in this qualifying session. Hungary, who's a 10th up through sector 1 from his previous best, is a 10th up through sector 2. In terms of his projected lap time, he's probably, I would say, just be behind Leclerc. Takes the shorter route to the line, sort of. It's a 1 minute 7.7. Stays third with that time. 2 tenths up for Ollie from his previous best as well. May be able to go into the 1 minute 7s, into the top 5. It's a 1 minute 8.0. It's still good enough for him to be in the top 5 with that one. What about Chapichio? What's his lap time like through sector 2? Not very good. So he'll come away from that. Through sector, well, turn 6, I should say. There is turn 11 that Hungary goes wide on, and that's his lap over. 6 minutes remaining in this qualifying. Thunderbolt's fastest by over a 10th. Don't be afraid to get in touch as well, guys, on this stream. This is just testing after all, as they prepare for the league season, which begins after the release of F1 2021, which will be switching over to then. And nearly half a second up through sector 2 for JTAC. Definitely on course to go into the 1 minute 7s. May even go up onto the front row of the grid. It's a 1 minute 7.6, and it goes up to third with that time. Nearly 400ths away from Leclerc's time that is second. Leclerc on a fast lap in the Alfa Romeo. And Leclerc 3 tenths up from his previous best, so he's definitely on course to go to provisional pole position. There's Mirko, who's behind him on an outlap, preparing for his next flying lap. Leclerc crossing the line, I should say. It's post a 1 minute 7.4, 600ths faster than Thundervales, who's about to cross over the line now in the AlphaTauri. Can he take back top spot on the grid? Yes, he can. 1 minute 7.3 for him. That lap time of his is over 300ths faster than Leclerc on this occasion. Schnitzky's on a lap that's invalidated, likewise with Jamie Owen. So the next driver we'll have a look at is Mirko, who's 700ths down from his previous best in sector 1, and he's just invalidated that lap during the course of sector 2, so that won't be a faster time than before. So Thunderbale's coming through. Nearly a tenth down from his previous best. I don't know if he's got all the power he needs all the way through the last part of the lap to go faster than before he's coming to the pits anyway. And into the barrier goes Hungry. And he will not be going any faster than before. So come away from him. Jeremy crossing the line. He's in 8th at the moment. Mirko Lesko. Don't think he's going any faster than before, to be honest with you. No, he's over 4 tenths down, so there's no way he's going to find that amount of time in the last sector here. Here's Chapichio. 10th fastest on the 1 minute 8.5. J-Tech on an outlap as well. Chapichio is coming through. 4 tenths up from his previous best, so he's got an opportunity to go in front of Jamie Owen and Kieran Green, and possibly Mirko Lesko as well. Here's Chapichio. DRS Open over the line for Mercedes. And it's a 1 minute 8.0. That puts him 7th. That's not a bad time there from Chapichio. Goes in front of Mirko Lesko and Jamie Owen with that lap. And only 6,000ths away from 600ths away from Ollie, and getting into 6th position. DRS Open on the racing point, and Ollie does not go faster than before, therefore he stays in 6th place. J-Tac 400ths down in sector 2. Don't see him moving up from 3rd place with the lap he's producing at the moment. He goes into the pit lane, so the highest it will start is 3rd. Now, is anyone on fast laps at the moment? Thunderbolts has just started his final attempt. Leclerc through sector 1 on a 16.7. So it's now between these two, going for pole position really. Now I wonder if Ollie's on a fast lap. He is, but it's not faster than before. Leclerc's had his lap time invalidated. Schnitzy won't go in any faster. I doubt that Ollie's going to go quicker than before. Leclerc's stopped out on the circuit. Ollie crossing over the line. Oh, he clipped the wall on the outside there, so he won't be crossing the line. Thunderbells, can he go faster than before? The answer is no, but it's good enough for pole position anyway. So Thunderbells will be on pole position ahead of Leclerc, then it's J-Tac ahead of Hungary, Schnitzy in 5th ahead of Ollie, then it's Chapichio, decent 7th ahead of Mirko Lesko, Jamie Owen, Kieran Green and Benjamin, rounding out the 11 drivers taking part in this 25% race distance event here in Brazil. And we should be done with this session here. And so we have, and we'll run down on the grid once more before the 18-lap race gets underway. So Thunderbells is on pole ahead of Leclerc, and it's J-Tech ahead of Hungary on row 2, Schnitzy and Ollie on row 3, followed by Chapichio and Mirko on row 4, Jamie Owen and Kieran Green on row 5, Benjamin running out your 11 drivers on the grid. We are in wet conditions here. Formation lap gets underway. All the drivers starting on intermediate tyres this time. Thunderbells will lead the field around the lap. It's an exploratory lap for the drivers to understand the conditions, where to find grip. Thunderbells leading the field onto the grid. There are two drivers who are already disqualified from the session, but they're still carrying on their way. They've been brought back to the grid. Mirko Lesko and Jamie Owen. Thunderbells is going to be coming into his grid spot now. So Thunderbells on the grid next to Leclerc. Then it's JTAC ahead of Hungary. Schnitzy, Ollie, Chappie will be looking to pounce. So 11 cars on the grid then for this event here in Brazil. The lights are on. When they go out, we'll be racing here in Brazil for this test event. It's lights out and away we go. Thunderbells gets off the line well, as does Leclerc, and then JTAC looking to pounce from third place as they go into turn one. He runs wide onto the grass and is going to lose a whole lot of time as he rejoins. So Leclerc in second place behind Thunderbells, who still leads. Then we've got the racing point of Ollie, who's made a great start. He's up to third place, and it's Hungary her Schnitzy. JTAC down to sixth after that mistake. Then it's Mirko Lesko, Chapachio, Kieran Green, Jamie Owen and Benjamin. And as they come up into turn 6 and 7. This is turn 8 as they go through. Now Thunderbells still ahead. And there's a move down the inside there from JTAC on the Renault of Schnitzy. Can't quite get the move done at that point. We'll be looking to go back on the inside of the Renault as they come into turn 13. That is Yun Sao. And Schnitzy almost running wide there. Hitting the wall on the outside. So into the Cenares on the second lap. It's Leclerc who leads, but will it remain that way until the end? Well, it says Leclerc is in the lead. Thunderbells who's in the lead. The leaderboard was incorrect, but it's been correctly updated now. So Thunderbells is in the lead by 1.3 seconds, with Leclerc second and Ollie third. Now, because of the conditions, there's no DRS. Not just for the first two laps, but for the foreseeable future. It is expected to be an intermediate tyre race. Van der Bell's crossing the line. It's a 1 minute 18.7. Leclerc posting a 1 minute 17.6. Schnitz is the first driver to be given a time penalty for exceeding track limits too many times. Now, even though with intermediates, these drivers do not have to pit. And with Leclerc's car being controlled by the AI at the moment as he's left the session, that's going to allow Ollie to go through. And we've got a car off, that's Chapiccio, who's not moving at the moment. Now, is that going to be a disqualification from the race? We've got a virtual safety car that's now deployed. And he's not moving, is the Mercedes. Yeah, he's out of the race. So, Chappie's our first retirement. We should get back on the way very, very shortly. Kean Green in 8th place behind Mirko Lesko. Jamie Owen 9th and Benjamin 10th. Sander Bales continues to lead. Ollie now in 2nd place ahead of Leclerc. I don't know if Leclerc's got back in yet, or he's trying to get back in. I'll just invite Leclerc back into the game. Just bear with me one moment. And we've got a driver in the pits, that's Schnitzy, changing his front wing and going to another set of the intermediates. He's being given a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pits. And Schnitzy getting a time penalty for exceeding track limits this time. Van der Bales continues to lead, but his lead's been narrowed down to 2.5 seconds by Ollie as they complete lap 5 and on to lap 6. We've got a safety car now as Schnitzy has retired. Now, has he lost it on the pits? He must have done. He's crashed into the wall and the safety car is out. And Hungary's had a spin also. Or is it Mirko that's had a spin? Well, Mirko has been given a drive-through penalty. I think it's for overtaking under the safety car, which both him and Kieran Green are going to have to take after the safety car is pulled back in. And Van der Bels is coming into the pits now. Oh, he's being given a time penalty now as well. It's a shame that for Van der Bels throwing it all away. Now, does Hungary slow down in time? He does. So Ollie catches up to the safety car. And Leclerc will not be able to go past Van der Bels as Van der Bels got out ahead of him. So Ollie leads the field behind the safety car during this test race here in Brazil. Mirko third, Jamie in fourth, Van der Bels fifth, Leclerc sixth. Hungary in seventh place for McLaren, it's Kieran Green and Benjamin, the remaining drivers left in the race. Kieran Green coming into the pits for another set of the intermediate compounds. He'll rejoin in 8th behind Benjamin. Or ahead of Benjamin, I should say, but he'll have enough time to catch up to Hungary. And Kieran Green has retired from the session. Not sure how he's managed to do that, actually. Has he binned it on the exit of the pit lane? He has. Oh, that's really poor, that from Kieran Green. It really is. And safety car is coming in at the end of this lap. And Ollie will dictate the pace and he'll go when he's ready to do so. There's one driver who'll be serving a drive-through penalty within the next couple of laps. That'll be Mirko Lesko. Will he decide to take it now? Or will he wait until he's got some time and space to do so? No, he's going to wait. So the 8 drivers left in the race now. Coming through as Leclerc comes back into the pits to serve his penalty. And we're back on the way now on lap 9 out of 18. Van der Bels going to the outside there of Mirko. Oh, and got Ollie off, going through the polystyrene boards there. And we've got another driver off. That's Van der Bels, who struggles on the restart. And can Benjamin get past Ollie? The answer is no on this occasion, but Jamie Erin is going to pull alongside the Ferrari of Mirko Lesko to go through turn 5. through 6 and 7. They come, all contact. Thunderbells hits the back of the McLaren of Hungary. Got away with it on that occasion. He's going to try and move on the McLaren again. The answer is no. So he waits behind a little bit longer. So they're coming over the line now with 9 laps remaining. JTAC in the lead ahead of Mirko Lesko. And I think Mirko Lesko will have to take his drive through at the end of this lap, otherwise he will be disqualified. Can't see too much change for position at the moment, although Thunderbells is going to try and line up a move on Hungary for 4th position. There's Ollie right behind as well. Ollie nearly losing it. And Mirko's now been disqualified for not taking the drive-through penalty when he needed to have done. So his session is over. You can see a move there from Hungary, who's going to go off into 3rd place now as he's got past Thunderbales. And now the Avatar trying to fight back. Down into Cedar de Largo. There's JTAC in the lead right now. Thunderbells trying to fight back by going past Hungary for 3rd position. Hungary runs wide. Thunderbells sees an opportunity. He senses it, but can't find a way through. Thunderbells all over the back of the McLaren. Oh, he's lost it. Oh, he's hit the barrier as well. And he's out. He's out of the race. Caught the curb, caught the white line. And his race is over in the AlphaTauri. What a shame there for Thunderbales. So with him out of the race now, JTAC is in the lead. Jamir in 2nd with that 6-second time penalty. Hungary's got a 3-second time penalty, which is just picked up. So as it stands, Ollie will be going to the podium and up into 2nd place. We've now just got 6 cars running in this race. Leclerc posting a new fastest lap as well. And JTAC has been given a time penalty for exceeding track limits. JTAC out in front. As it stands, he would still come away the victor in this. He's still got 6 more laps to do. There's Ollie in 4th place ahead of Benjamin. I don't see... Hopefully we won't get any more cars dropping out of this. And Jamie runs wide on the exit of turn 8 and through 9, and that's going to allow Hungary to close in. And he would lose 3rd, 4th and 5th. It drops to 5th with the time penalties added, would Jamie Owen. And Leclerc's now got a time penalty for exceeding track limits. Doing his best to catch up to the others. Leclerc setting some good pace in the Alfa Romeo though. At the back of the field in 6th. Now, does he post the fastest lap of the race on this occasion? Taking good route there, 1 minute 16.7, 1.5 tenths faster than before. So he is flying on those new intermediates. Jamie Owen's now got a 9-second time penalty, so his chance of a podium is well and truly gone now. Only in 4th place, losing ground to Hungary. Now, if he can get back to within 3 seconds of the race leader, he would in fact win, would Ollie. JTAC continuing to pull out his margin. As at the moment, Ollie, adding the gaps together, is 4.3 seconds off the race lead. So he needs to, as it stands, try to get to within 6 tenths of Hungary, to then be within range of being ahead of Jamie Owen and JTAC, or JTAC anyway, to take the victory. So we've got 3 laps to go then at the end of this one. So Ollie now 1.5 seconds behind Hungary. So he's wheeling him in the closing stages. And Jamie Owen close in on JTAC ahead. And now we're coming on to the penultimate lap here, as Hungary's now within range to have a go on Jamie Owen in the battle for what is second on the road, but he would finish ahead of him once the time penalties have been applied. So to go for it into the Senores down into turn 1. He thought about it, gets on the curb. Has to slot back in behind. At the moment, Ollie is about 4 seconds off JTAC now, so you'll have to hope he'll get another time penalty before this race is finished. So they're coming through turns 12 and 13. JTAC is about to begin the last lap of this race now. Just needs to keep the car on the track, and the victory will be his. There's JTAC. The gap between him and Ollie is now, at the moment, 3.7 seconds. So he's run wide on the exit of turn 5. Jamie Owen's got another time penalty for exceeding track limits. And that mistake from JTAC has allowed Ollie to close in more now. The gap at the moment, it's very, very tight. Ollie just needs to keep the car on the track and close in a little bit more on Hungary to help him win this one. Oh, Jamie Owen spun. So Jamie Owen has spun. Now that will help Ollie's cause. And he's out of the race, is Jamie Owen on the last lap. But here's JTAC. He's coming through now. He crosses over the line to win here in Brazil. Hungary will drop behind Ollie, and I think Ollie will finish second, so the gap is less than 6/10. So JTAC takes the victory here in Brazil. No points are awarded, as it is testing after all. Ollie is second, Hungary third, Benjamin fourth, and Leclerc will cross the line in 5th place and get in the fastest lap. The drivers coming out onto the podium for the last time today of this test event. So your final classification then here in Brazil, JTAC is the winner ahead of Ollie, then it's Hungary third, Benjamin fourth, Leclerc fifth, and Jamie Owen is sixth despite crashing out on the last lap. Thunderbolts didn't finish, neither did Mirko, Kieran Green, Schnitzy and Chippy also failed to finish. So the driver with the fastest lap, that was Leclerc, but as I've already mentioned, no points are rewarded as it is only testing. That's all we've got time for today. Thank you folks for watching, and these guys in the Realistic Velocity Racing League will continue to test from next week before the league begins in around about July, August time after the release of F1 2021. So I'll leave it there, and I'll speak to you again soon, guys, when the Realistic Velocity Racing League returns.